Landon Huffman coming to a comfortable lead, coming out of 2. He's got about 8 car lengths, put it half a second over Dwayne Vincent as Chad Cole works the number 2 spot.
Time is running out. Vincent's got it. Cole wants it in the wall. Chevrolet puts the bumper to the 13 of Vincent. Vincent not backing down. He's in second. You know, when we got one car on the bottom, the 10 car.
A sub-54-second qualifying run tonight as Chad Cole has lined up on the pole right now during qualifying session. Will he be able to hang on to it? Only time will tell. Chad Cole won this race last season, leading 58 of the 65 laps. Dwayne Vincent would follow in second place behind him with only 2 laps led. I'll tell you what, Evan, looking for a heck of a night at Pocono Speedway tonight.
Well, they call it the Tricky Triangle for a reason. 3 turns here tonight, and is our second venture to this racetrack this season in the 2013 Real Sim Racing Full Throttle Cup Series. And you mentioned Chad Cole won it last year. He also won the race earlier on in this season. So he's sitting on the pole. He definitely loves this track.
Absolutely. I'll tell you what, Dwayne Vincent is out in front with the points. He leads the pack by 32 over Chad Cole. So Chad Cole needs to start turning it around as he drifts further and further behind Dwayne Vincent here in the Real Sim Racing Full Throttle Cup Series. I'm joined in the booth. You just heard him, Evan Pocono, back from somewhere in Michigan, off of vacation, back in the saddle again. John Westling, he's pushing the buttons for us. That's Magic Fingers down there in the trailer on the cameras for you tonight. Clint Monahan running a little bit late here tonight. So the Cowboy, that's me. I'll be filling in here for a little bit. Evan, let's take him down through the points. Let him know who's who and who's where.
Well, you touched on it there. Dwayne Vincent sitting up front right now in the point standing. He has 726 points. Then you have Chad Cole sitting in second, 32 points back. Then there's a little bit of a gap. Guy Snyder, the fourth and third, 98 off. CJ LeVere sitting in fourth place. He's 132 back. Rich Jett in fifth is 156 points away. John Abbott sitting in sixth place, 175 off. Nearly 1 point behind him, Mark Bratcher sitting in 7th place, 176 off. And then 179 off Jose Gonzalez, so watch out for those 3 guys shuffling for positions. Also, Ronnie Potts sitting 9th, 182 off of your leader, Dwayne Vincent. And we have Doug Ross sitting in 10th place, the last transfer spot into the chase, 226 off, but he only has a 3-point cushion on 11th.
And only 4 points separate Abbott, Bratcher, and Gonzalez at 6th, 7th, and 8th position. So looking for a huge points night here at Pocono for any one of those 3 drivers tonight. But we're just a few minutes away from getting the ball rolling here. 65 laps on the board here at Pocono Speedway, and turn 2 is always the turn that we want to keep an eye on, Evan.
And definitely, in Pocono is such a unique racetrack because all 3 of these turns are different. You have turn 1, it's 14 degrees. It's based off of the no longer active Trenton Speedway. Then you mentioned turn 2, that tricky tunnel turn, only 9 degrees. That's modeled after the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And then turn 3, where you want to get that speed to go down that big long front stretch, that's only 6 degrees, and that is designed off of the Milwaukee Mile, so definitely a unique racetrack tonight.
You know, and as I recall over the last couple of seasons here with Real Sim Racing's Full Throttle Cup Series, it seems to me that turn 1 is also a difficult turn. Although it's a big, wide, fat, sweeping turn, a little bit of banking to it to help you out. But, you know, the problem is getting back in the throttle in the center of that turn. You just got to have a lot of patience going through the middle and then ease back up on the gas as the car becomes straight going down the short chute. So we'll pay attention to turn 1 here tonight as well. Side-by-side action coming off of turn 3 down the front stretch, and it's about 12 miles back into turn 1, Evan.
Definitely. I mean, you come off that turn number 3, only 6 degrees of banking, so it's the most flat turns out of all 3 of them here tonight. And that is a long front straightaway, I'll tell you. I mean, this track itself, 2.5 miles in length. You're going to need as much speed as you can to come down that front stretch. And watch on those restarts, you're going to see 4, 5 wide. They're going to have to sort it out somehow before they get to that turn 1.
Absolutely, and I'll tell you what, Clint Monahan finally showing his face here up here in the booth, finally making it to work. Glad to have Clint along for the ride. I'll tell you what, I'm going to turn it over to Clint Monahan and Evan Pocono right after the Cactus Cooties present our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And welcome back. We're going to now send it down trackside for those most famous words in motorsports.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
Sitting on the pole for today's race, he won it last time we were here earlier in the season. It's Chad Cole in the number 8 machine, and then Dwayne Vincent, your points leader, is sitting right now in the 2nd position. Jose Gonzalez qualified in the 3rd position in his number 26 machine. Also, John Higman Jr. rounds off row number 2 in his number 44, starting in 4th position. Ronnie Potts in 5th is going to take his number 2 off on the inside of row number 3. Rhett McBride, row number 3 on the outside in his number 15. He'll be starting 6th. Cale Dresbach is going to roll his number 45 off the grid, number 7. And Steve Gottschalk is going to start in 8th. Jimmy North in the 84 is going to start in 9th place. And Brennan Mercer is going to round off the top 10 in his number 29, starting in that 10th position. We also have Brian Lambert taking his number 52 Chevrolet off in 11th. CJ Lavera in the 4 is going to be starting 12th. Also, Rich Jett in the number 36, starting in that lucky number 13th position. And don't forget the number 24, Stefan Marinac is going to start this one 14th. Also, Guy Snyder the 4th, and his number 27 will be starting 15th. Angelo Corradino is going to start in 16th position. Ben Burnett in that number 37 will roll off 17th position. And Sean Castro in the number 58 will start in 18th. Doug Roth in that petty blue number 43 will roll off 19th, and John Abbott in the 10 is going to start in 20th. Continuing through the starting grid here, Brian Harvey in the number 66 will be starting in 21st position. Jade Williams in number 53 is going to roll off 22nd. Mark Bratcher in the 38 will start 23rd. Nick Silver in the 25 will start 24th. Eric Arnold's going to take the Navy Nuke off 25th. 26th will be Keith Brooks Jr. Joey Gattina is going to start 27th. Douglas Wyatt in 26th 8th position. Steven Almindo starting this race in 29th, and Adam Roberts is going to take to the grid, starting in 30th position in his number 88. Then we have Mike King, Chris Cable, Joseph Hayes, and Josh Cheney are the 4 drivers, 31st through 34th positions that did not take time in qualifying, and they will round out the back of the field. So the lights obviously off on the pace car as we work our one and only pace lap around this big, long triangle 2.5 mile racetrack in specific here. And we're getting ready to take the green flag again. Chad Cole sitting in second in points. He's got to do some work on Dwayne Vincent. He won it last week, but Dwayne got second. And that's currently where they are right now, 1-2. So Chad Cole's definitely going to be looking for a good day today. But as they hit the front straightaway, the Ford First Racing Mustang pace car is going to dive down the pit road. Chad Cole is gone, and the green flag is in the air at Pocono. You can see the field pretty much staying 2 wide, a little bit of 3 wide back in the field, but up front it is Chad Cole. He got the run. Dwayne Vincent's going to pull in second position. Those two are sorted out. John Higman Jr. is taking a look on the outside of Jose Gonzalez right now. That's for 3rd spot off turn number 1. Jose Gonzalez is going to protect that position, so he will maintain 3rd spot, and Higman will drop back into the 4th position. Then the number 2, Ronnie Potts. That's where he started in 5th, and he's currently sitting in 5th as well, so no real position changes as we go through the top of the field.
Yeah, we do have 2 wide back for about the 20th position with John Abbott and John Abbott and both Eric Arnold. Eric Arnold was looking to his inside, but he's not going to be able to make it. John Abbott in that beautiful Nesquik car really wants some chocolate milk oven.
Definitely. It looks like they're battling harder back here than they are up front. John Abbott Eric Arnold just made a pass up there. He worked his way around number 38, I do believe, of Mark Bratcher. So Eric Arnold's going to move up into the 21st position. And they've single filed out fairly quickly. There's pretty much one line around this racetrack, but you can really adjust it now. Battle in the 13th. Stefan Marinak in the number 24 car is hanging out right behind a good battle. The 52, Brian Lambert, just went to the inside of Jimmy Norris, puts the slide job on him in the tunnel turn, and a wreck in front of him, big wreck, 91 in it, 52, 29. A whole bunch of cars involved, 27's also in it. This happened right in front of that battle, and this will bring out our first caution early.
Yeah, it looks like Ronnie Potts, Steve Gottschalk, Brendan Mercer. That was tough. Ronnie Potts did take he's taking blame for that. I'm going to take a look back at the replay, see what started that. I think he might have gotten out in the marbles.
He got up into the wall, in that tunnel turn. It looks like he just took it a little bit too hot. Got into that wall that spun him sideways right in front of that battle that I was looking at. And CJ LeVere just squeaked by that. And the 29 Brendan Mercer had nowhere to go. He T-boned the side of that too. That also collected again the number 91 car of Steve Gottschalk. Yep. And then the 52 right there also. Another innocent bystander, Brian Lambert. The 84, Jimmy North, involved in that as well. And not the way you want to start your night.
He got it bad.
And this track, you really want that arrow, so it's going to bite you for the rest of the night.
Well, we are under our first caution here on lap 3, and we do have leaders. You see them using the access road, and that saves just a little bit of gas, but every little bit helps because this could end up being a fuel mileage race like past races we've had here.
And definitely, this is race number 21 on the 2013 Real Sim Racing Full Throttle Cup Series schedule. Last time we were here, it was the pole sitter right now, Chad Cole. He took home the win. Last time we were here, obviously, earlier in the season, Glenn Campbell finished second in that race. David Lanza took home third. Jose Gonzalez finished fourth. Mark Bratcher was in fifth. Steve Ritter, sixth. Nathan Little, seventh. Rich Jett, eighth. Steve Gottschalk, 9th, and Justin Wilson in 10th. So those were the top 10 from our first trip to Pocono earlier in the season. So those are guys that definitely know their way around this track. But the question is, that 8 of Chad Cole real strong. JD started us off with it. A sub 34-second qualifying time is not easy here at Pocono.
You got to think this race might just be between Chad Cole and Dwayne Vincent. We do have about half the field come down pit road. But the cars have gone on pit road, those in the back of the field, and those were involved. But who else would you think could make a run for it here? I mean, you got maybe Stefan Marinak or Jose Gonzalez, but really the two big guys you got to look out for, Chad Cole and Dwayne Vincent. That's almost a weekly thing, but especially here.
Well, definitely. I mean, they're sitting 1-2 in the point standings, and I mean, when you look at the points, Chad Cole sent 32 off of Dwayne Vincent. Just about a month or so ago, it was the other way around, and Dwayne's knocked off several wins, and Chad Cole's been right there. I mean, he won. If you tuned in last week, Chad Cole took home the victory at Indianapolis over Dwayne Vincent by 0.4 of a second. That finished under caution, unfortunately. So, I mean, Chad Cole's doing what he needs to do, but he just needs to get some bad luck, so to speak, from Dwayne Vincent. Got to get a little bit of help, and points will reset when they get to the chase, but you want those bonus points for wins, and Dwayne Vincent's got about 10 of those, so Chad Cole's just looking to help himself out and stay in the top 10 until we reset points and start the chase.
You know he's doing well tonight, and I think will do well and finish well. That's Rhett McBride. Flat tracks are his thing, and it's really weird because he's not as successful on cookie cutters, more banking, which are much easier, but you put him on a flat track like New Hampshire and here at Pocono, he's run well at both tracks. I can see him staying in the top 5 tonight, and watch for CJ Oliveira to make his way up there too.
Rhett McBride finished 15th last time out, and it's such a difficult track. Last time we saw a bunch of cautions, and it's just with the slick track, every turn is different. We went over that earlier with the banking. I mean, you have turn 1 banked at 14 degrees. It really gives these crew chiefs a big headache when it comes to setting up these race cars, and Chad Cole obviously has his dialed in because he's liking it and he's performing well. But if you have to make adjustments throughout the race to fine-tune that team definitely has it down for the time being. But again, we are on our first caution of the night, as I do believe the lights have just come off on the pace car, so we're going to go green next time by. Currently working lap 5 of 65 here at Pocono, the Tricky Triangle. As the field works their way through into turn number 3, watch for Chad Cole to get that jump on the restart. Again, he's going to take that access road to save those little bit of fuel that he can. Clint touched on it, may become a fuel mileage race, and that's really the difference maker when you see guys get on different pit cycles, so to speak, and they work their way through turn 2 right there. So they're going to come up to turn 3 to get the green flag, and the first restart that started off the race was pretty tame. I mean, everyone pretty much stayed single to double file. I can guarantee you that if you have a late race restart, you'll see 4 or 5 wide. But they're just trying to be a little bit smart. And the incident that we had really wasn't guys overdriving, racing each other too hard. It was just a simple mistake by a driver. So everyone's trying to keep a cool head and get a smart race going. But the field is now working their way off turn number 3. Not turn number 4. Got to keep reminding myself of that. At Pocono Raceway, the Ford First Racing Mustang pace cars down, and Chad Cole is wasting no time. He is off and into turn number 1 as he's going. Dwayne Vincent currently sitting in second position. He's going to be able to go into that spot. The only battle really for third, again, Jose Gonzalez staying on the bottom. John Hinman Jr. is going to think twice about it. Instead of going to the high side, he's going to get loose, and now here comes the 45. Kel Dresbach's going to take a peek to the inside.
We got some good 2-wide action going back here around the 14th position. Brian Harvey, Nick Silver is back in this league. He is back in 15th position, and this is where all the real action is going on down here. That's where you got John Abbott, Rich Jett, my teammate on Thursday is Mark Bratcher. Him and Steve Almendo are battling right now, and also Brian Harvey. They got to make their way up to the front. These are guys that are used to running at the front, so they're going to get a little impatient back here. I can see that happening as Chris Cable gets really high on the outside. He got a little high in turn 3 right there.
He drove that thing into the corner past like 3 cars and nearly just put himself up into the wall. Now he loses all of that speed. Eric Arnold's going to come up in front of him. They're still about 2 wide behind him. Mark Bratcher on the inside with the 21 of Josh Chaney all over his bumper. The 38 is beneath the 25 of Nick Silver. This is all battling for about 20th position, just trying to get themselves single filed out, not make any mistakes, and then ride around a little bit. It is a long race. 65 laps at a 2.5 mile track. However, up front, second place battle for that position. Dwayne Vincent up high. Here comes Jose Gonzalez down to the bottom. John Higma Jr. also in the 44 is looking in. This is all side by side for second place. It's going to be Vincent off 3.
How about back in 21st in the number 21 Fusion? Josh Chaney and his Fastenal Ford Fusion got a little loose on the Long Pond straightaway. He was going airborne on the back straightaway after he got it straightened up. It was hitting pretty big air. He could have gone to the X Games this week, but now he's all the way back as he makes his way to the start finish line. He's going to be back in probably he fell all the way back to 30th. So that's a tough break. He is getting under Keith Brooks I apologize. That is as the 29 car, Brendan Mercer. He's a lap down. He's got damage from the first wreck, but of course he is trying to make his way up, and it's not working after getting real loose right there. But Josh Chaney is the guy that can finish top 10.
Still side by side for the 20th position, and number 38, Mark Bratcher on the inside of the 25. He's going to lose that in turn 3. 25, Nick Silver is going to pull up in front of him, and now looking for the 04 of Mike King to work his way around. 38 is going to slide in line. The 04, Mike King is going to use that run. He's going to shoot down to the bottom, down the front straightaway, looking to assert his position as we go into turn number 1. He can't do it, and he's going to pull back in line.
And of course up front here on lap 9 with over a 1 second lead is Chad Cole. Now as I say that, I'm going to work my way back to the 6th position. That's where Rhett McBride is getting right up under the 52 Brian Lambert. That's actually for 7th position. He just overtook him for that. Great pass there by Rhett McBride, who's pretty good at these flat tracks, and of course right up ahead of him was, as I said, Cal Dressbeck. He got a little loose coming out of the corner, and look who is now also making his way up is Stefan Marinak. He's in 10th place, pulling in on Ben Burnett. And at 37, he's in an ETV live car. Look at that.
Damn, 37 representing, sitting currently 9th position. Another car that's moving forward in the field, sitting 12th right now, the 49, Angelo Corradino. He's gained about 4 positions since the beginning of the race, and just a few laps ago we saw the 05 Chris Cable really driving into turn 3, and it didn't work out. Well, that 48 just pulled a great slide, or 49 rather, pulled a great slide job on the 58 of Sean Casto last time by, and that's how he gained that position. Now the 4 car, CJ Lavere, slow on the back straightaway in the grass, and now he's working his way back up the speed. Not sure what happened there. He may have just gotten up into the wall, I do believe, in turn 1.
Yeah, CJ got loose coming out, corrected, turn left again. Just
nice save.
That's a great save because he did get in the grass after pointing his car towards infield, towards the wall, back towards the wall, back towards the wall, and then straighten it up in the grass. That's a great save by CJ. CJ is a big time wheelman. He only lost about 5 positions, and he will gain them back in no time.
Yeah, he'll take that over putting it into the inside wall in today. A great piece of driving for that number 4. CJ Lavere. Well, he started this race 12th. He worked his way up around to the top 5, and he's pretty much right back where he started, so he's going to have to try to work his way back up through the field. And then a quick update again, Chad Cole pulled away from Dwayne Vincent. It may have been when Vincent and Gonzalez were side by side for second place after the restart, but Chad Cole still maintaining a 1.2 second lead right now for the lead.
I'm watching the battle here for around the 16th position. We got Eric Arnold, who was on the inside, made his way right around Chris Cable as 36 dives it off in there. Rich Jet is going to make his way right up under Chris Cable. He's also going to try to get past him. He's got Mark Bratcher right on his tail, so he needs to get going too. Eric Arnold gets a little loose coming out of 4. Looking at Rich Jet going right under him, and also going around him on the outside was Nick Silver. Eric Arnold is a fast driver, but sometimes he will drive too much out of his car. Try to get too much out of his car, and it won't happen. And as you notice, that is exactly what happened, as he lost 2 positions after getting loose, as both Nick Silver and Chris Cable and Richard Jett were able to get around Eric Arnold for the 19th position.
Yeah, they've been side by side in that group for a while now. Mark Bratcher's going to pull in behind Eric Arnold. That's going to extinguish the last 2 wide battle for now on the racetrack. And again, this is all going around 20th. Here he goes again, though. Mark Bratcher to the inside. Eric Arnold into turn number 3, I do believe. 47's going to slip back, and now Bratcher's going to pick up a spot.
That's my Thursday night teammate right there, Mark Bratcher. He's getting a great run. He's had great runs on these flat tracks too. He's going to take over 19th position from Eric Arnold. I think Eric might have burned out his tires from all that hard driving, because Mike King's making his way up under there right now, under Eric, and you can look in on Eric's car back there, and he is, he's fighting it big time. And now up in the, looks like 6th position, Red McBride just made his way back around Cale Dressback. And Brian Lambert was looking inside Cale, but he was not able to make it happen. He looks low again. He's going to tuck right back in. He'll probably try to get a run off turn 3 here, as we are here on lap 13.
Continuing this green flag run, and that's one thing you notice if you're looking at a pack of cars. You'll see them shuffling positions a lot, and that's because they're searching for grip. They want to get that horse pedal to the ground, but they don't, or the horsepower to the ground rather, but they don't want to spin themselves out. So that's why you'll see them speeding up, almost slowing down, kind of being twitchy in the corners, and they're really searching hard to find any grip that they can, and that's what is making for such great. And that's what makes 2 wide actually so difficult at this track also.
Yeah, there's no second lane, and I have a horse pedal too, so don't you worry about that. Eric Arnold, after falling back to 23rd, he actually fell back to 24th. He just made his way around Douglas Wyatt, who is holding that position down pretty well, and closes right back in. See, I don't think Eric Arnold has much of a right rear tire anymore after he burned it out a lot, because Douglas Wyatt got right back on him, because Eric Arnold is really tight off the corner. And Douglas Wyatt does go low again. He's got Joseph Hayes also looking, and we could have a 3-wide situation on the front here. Joseph Hayes thinks otherwise, tucks right back in behind Douglas Wyatt as we come to lap 15.
And I'm not too sure that 47 may not have made contact with the outside wall off turn number 3. We saw when he got split by Chris Cable there, looked like he got loose. He may have hit something in his car, because we've seen him drop a handful of positions, but he's still 2 positions higher than when he started the race, so he also could have used up his equipment making work early, and now he's sliding back because he's battling some tough conditions in that race car right now as we continue to go. This green flag run, Eric Arnold sitting 23rd. Chad Cole still in the lead. We're going to run you through your top 10 right now. It's Chad Cole sitting in first, Dwayne Vincent, Jose Gonzalez, John Higman Jr., and Rhett McBride are the top 5. Then Cale Dresbach in 6th, Brian Lambert in the 7th position, Ben Burnett 8th, Doug Roth in 5th, and Stefan Marinac in the 24 will round off the top 10.
You are watching the RSR Full Throttle Cup Series here at Pocono. We are on lap 16 here. We're going to take a quick break. You are watching none other than ETV Live.
Radio Network. Join 5,000 plus other listeners where you can hear everything from big 80s metal to classic rock and roll, country radio, ETV live sports radio, even adult and unplugged rock and roll. HDRadioNetwork.com, one of the fastest growing internet radio networks. HDRadioNetwork.com. Take it with you, cowboy. Get the mobile app for Android, iPhone, iPad, and all the rest from TuneIn.com. Racing Series returns to ETV Live on Tuesday nights following the Fast Track Racing Series radio show. After organizing a highly successful team series in 2010, Jerry Wolf is back with some kick-butt, take-no-prisoners team racing action like you have never seen before. The ATV Live Team Racing Series is sponsored by HD Radio Network live on Tuesday nights from 9 p.m. Eastern. Don't wimp out, dude. Catch the action live at etv-eplay.net.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Tricky Triangle Pocono Raceway, where we're currently running lap 18 under green flag. It is the 2013 Real Sim Racing Full Throttle Cup Series campaign and presented by Bob Earl Racing, and all of these drivers are racing for the VRC Mark II virtual racing seat that is presented by Bob Earl Racing to the winner of this series at the end of the season. That's a simulation racing cockpit designed by championship race car driver Bob Earl. Who better than a real race car driver to design a simulation racing cockpit? After all, he knows what it means to be comfortable behind the wheel. The design features a fully adjustable seat and frame, additional monitor stand and shifter mount sold separately. Proud sponsor of the 2013 Real Sim Racing Full Throttle Cup Series, a high quality and affordable virtual racing cockpit priced at just $349 plus shipping. See it today at www.bobearlracing.com.
You know, our leader is still Chad Cole, but Dwayne Vincent has caught him about 2/10 since we left for caution. Jose Gonzalez, John Hickman Jr., and Rhett McBride have all lost time to him, though. They are all at least 2.5 seconds behind Rhett. He's about 6.5 back there in 5th. So they are holding down well. We do have a nice little battle right there. John Hickman Jr. is all over Jose Gonzalez. Getting right up on him, letting him know he's there, waiting for any mistake by Jose as they enter turn 1 here in lap 20.
Trying to chip away, and he's gained significant amount of time. Maybe Chad Cole not as good on the long runs, and we currently have 29 cars on the lead lap. Guy Snyder in 30th position is 1 lap down, along with Steve Gottschalk and Brennan Mercer, and then 33rd and 34th position being Jimmy North and Steven Almindo. They are both 6 laps down, but so far they are all on the racetrack. Actually, Steven Almindo is in the garage.
Yeah, making his way down pit road right now is CJ LeVere. It's only lap 20. Maybe he's trying to short pit him. Maybe he also had a little damage, but he'll probably be able to stay in the lead lap. Luckily, this is a big enough track, and as I say that, he's going to pull out right as the leaders are catching up to him as they enter turn 1. CJ's going to go a lap down. He will be the first car lap down, though, as this all plays out. And so if a caution were to come out, CJ would be the lucky dog. And CJ is getting passed, if you're watching right now, by Jose Gonzalez and John Hickman Jr. We are top 5 currently, with Dwayne Vincent still catching up to Chad Cole. The leader is Chad Cole, followed by Dwayne Vincent, about 7/10 behind him. Jose Gonzalez, John Hickman Jr., and Rhett McBride.
CJ should have no problem being the first car a lap down, because Steve Gottschalk, who was before CJ came down, the first car a lap down, well, he is now entering pit road, so if a caution were to come out, CJ LeVere may be saved by that lucky dog. For now, however, Dwayne Vincent still looking up front. He's continuing to try to chip away at Chad Cole, and the 26 Jose Gonzalez, who was pretty much with Dwayne Vincent the majority of this run, has now dropped over 2 seconds away from Vincent. You see it on that overhead, the distance between them. Great camera angles from the International Space Station, as JD likes to say. John Westland playing with that blimp up there. Continuing to work on lap 22, so let's see how long our leaders stay out as green flag pit stops seem to have begun.
Yeah, CJ's back on pit road, so I think he's trying to make some fixes, but he is still the first car lap down in the 29th position. And look who's still catching Chad Cole by half a second now. Dwayne Vincent is about 5/10 behind him, and he's closing ever so quickly. We do have some battles going on the track. When, as I say that, it doesn't longer happen. Adam Roberts was able to, or Brian Harvey was able to make his way back around Jade Williams. And the 49 car of Angelo Cordino is around, and we're looking for that on the track right now.
He looks like he's spun in between turns 2 and 3, possibly sitting off the racetrack. No caution flag, and he has just he's taken a tow to pit lane. They're going to see if they can get that thing fixed again. No caution has come out, and look at this up front. Dwayne Vincent only 0.3 of a second off of Chad Cole for the lead. You're going to look as they enter the turn number 2, that tunnel turn, and last time by it looked like Chad Cole's car definitely going away. He's sliding all over, and his car kept pushing up off turn number 3 while Dwayne Vincent was able to hold it down. So if Chad Cole's not planning on pitting soon, he's going to lose that first spot because here comes Vincent.
Yeah, Vincent's making a big charge. That's going to be Chad Cole's biggest fight tonight, is racing against him, because Jose Gonzalez, John Hickman Jr. also fast, but they can't catch up though within more than 2 seconds. As that lap, Dwayne Vincent was only about 2.5 tenths behind him, so he is still catching him. He even caught him a lot last lap in turn 3, as he has lost a little bit of position out of turn 1 right there. As I say that, Chad Cole barely kisses the wall. This is lap 24. Pit stops are still coming soon for the leaders, but Dwayne Vincent is still catching Chad Cole, who's now within a tenth.
We have contact also on the racetrack, 49 into the 43. I just saw some more between the 24 and the 52. Coming to the end of this run, maybe the cars aren't as strong as they want them to be, slipping and sliding a little bit where you're having contact a little bit all over the racetrack, nothing pretty major. And you saw on that replay of Angelo Cordino, obviously took a hard hit into the inside wall, and his night is done. They have taken that to the garage to see if they can get it back out at all. Dwayne Vincent, though, he's not gaining as much as he was before, but he is there nearly 1/10 of a second off, 2 car lengths or 3 back. He's putting the pressure on.
He's running the better line right now. I think Chad's using a little bit more of his right side tires than they have as they go around the lap car. Brendan Mercer just gets out of the way. He doesn't want to cause anything to mess up either of those drivers' races. And as I say that, Chad Cole is now within less than the car length. Oh, I'm sorry, Dwayne Vincent's within less than the car length of Chad Cole. Chad Cole's not running a sponsor tonight. That's a little weird to see, especially since he is second in points here. Dwayne Vincent gets an outstanding run, as he's going to get another outstanding run coming out of turn 3. He is all over the bumper of Chad Cole. This will be less than 1/10 of a second that he'll be behind Chad Cole here on lap 26.
The distance that time by 0.14 of a second, so just over 1/10, but Vincent is definitely smoother around the racetrack. And just a quick update, I mean, CJ Oliveira, the first car to pit, he's the second car 1 lap down. So obviously Guy Snyder has come in. We're seeing cars more towards the rear end of the field coming in, so it'll be interesting to see what these leaders want to do and how their fuel is going to shake out. But you mentioned that Chad Cole just maybe searching for grip. He's worn out his tires. Dwayne Vincent definitely faster. He just looks like he may have some issues finally getting to pass him. I mean, he worked down a second lead that Cole had to get up to him. But I mean, catching somebody is one thing, passing them is another. And with that draft, he's got to really try to take advantage of it on the front stretch or going into maybe turn 1.
Hey Evan, how about this nice little battle we have going back here for between 14th, 15th, and 16th? That's Chris Cable, Mark Bratcher, and Rich Jett. As you see, Chris Cable took that corner really wide as Mark Bratcher is going to catch up right behind him. He's going to get right on that bumper. He will not have enough of a run, though, to make it at it going into turn 1. And right behind him is Rich Jett, who's dropped a little bit, but Mark Bratcher's made some nice moves, making his way up there, up to now 15th, looking for 14th. He's going to back off as Chris Cable will still hold it, and he's still looking low. Chris Cable gets right up against the wall. Also, as you see Rich Jett get loose, Mark Bratcher's still looking low as they head for the tunnel turn.
Too wide into the tunnel turn. How's this going to shape out? It's going to have to be Chris Cable on the top side holding his own. The 38, Mark Bratcher, on the bottom. He's going to get it done. The 05 slides up, and Mark Bratcher's going to prevail on the bottom. And now the 36, Rich Jett, is going to look on the inside of that 05 into turn number 3. Look at the 05 looking for grip. He slides up the racetrack. He can't get it done, and now it's happened up front. Dwayne Vincent is now taking the lead from Chad Cole. So Chad Cole, after leading the first 27 laps, is going to relinquish it finally to the 13 of Dwayne Vincent.
Dwayne Vincent is going to get that ever so important bonus point, and that's not good for Chad Cole, who's trying to catch him. And it's so tough for Chad Cole because he's running really well, but he's got the guy in front of him running in front of him still. And so there's not much else Chad Cole can do. It's just that's how tough the series is with Dwayne Vincent and Chad Cole. These guys are the most fierce competitors in this Full Throttle Cup series, and you see this week after week. The battles are always between Dwayne Vincent and Chad Cole.
And definitely, I mean, Chad Cole took the win home last week, but Vincent finished second. So Chad Cole's really going for it, but you can't help it if the guy he's battling is having some good nights too. And obviously, once we get to the chase, maybe points right now not as important. I mean, they look to be pretty much good to go for the chase unless something drastic happens in these next few races. I mean, they have about a 226-point cushion to that 10th position, so they should be fine. So Chad Cole with 4 wins this season, Vincent with 10. Cole really wants to get bonus points when they get to the chase to help him out because Vincent's got 10 wins, Chad Cole's got 4. So Chad Cole wants to go for that W.
He does, and we do have a position change for the 5th position. Rhett McBride just went right under Stefan Marinak for it, and he took it pretty easily right from him. And as I say that, Stefan made it. He's right back on his bumper. He's going to give him the bump just right after they go across the start-finish line. And they're going to draft, trying to maintain speed as they are pretty well in front of the other cars of Cal Dressback and Brian Lambert. But Rhett McBride did take. He enters really high there in turn 1, and the turn he's really does well at is the tunnel turn, as he was just mentioning. We heard him come over the radio. But Stefan Marinak is doing everything he can to stay right up on the bumper, and he's doing a great job.
Definitely continuing to run under green flag conditions. Chad Cole to the inside of Dwayne Vincent for the lead. So I guess that draft is helping that number 8 car. This is back up for the lead position. They're going to be side by side in the turn number 1. You see it there as they head towards us here. They're going to work their way into the corner. Chad Cole's going to slice way down to the white line, trying to maintain speed, and he's going to pick it up from Dwayne Vincent. Now the 13 of Vincent's going to have a run. The 8 Chad Cole slides up, crossover, and Vincent's now down low. And now Dwayne Vincent is going to regain the lead. So they are swapping that position continuously. Now you see Chad Cole's going to use that draft, try to get back up to the 13. He can't get it done. Again, we continue under green flag conditions here at Pocono Raceway. It's race number 21 on the 2013 Real Sim Racing Full Throttle Cup Series season here on ETV Live every Monday night. Of course, Real Sim Racing has another series that is broadcasted here on ETV Live. You can check that out on Thursday nights. That's the Real Sim Racing Asphalt Assault Series. So make sure to take a look. Lots of great racing to see here. And again, we're working lap 32 right now. We've had an incident early on in the race. One car spun, collected a handful of others, and we've been clean for the most part and green since then. We've had a couple of small incidents, but nothing has thrown the caution. And Dwayne Vincent's worked his way up onto Chad Cole. He's taken the lead. Cole made a fight for it back. Vincent has now retaken the lead, and he's currently sitting there, so they both have the bonus points over. Chad Cole's going to want to get that bonus point for having the most laps led. And they're going to continue to be right bumper to bumper into turn number 1. Let's see if Cole tries to do anything. He's going to give Vincent a little bit of a bump into the corner, but they'll remain 1-2. They have a 2.5 second lead over now the third place card of John Higman Jr., who has just passed Jose Gonzalez for that third spot. As green flag pit stops continue to cycle through here. A couple of cars down on the pit road near the rear end of the field. We still really haven't seen anybody out of the top 10 making that move just yet, but everybody's on different strategies. And now Chad Cole sitting in second place. He is now going to come down pit road. And now Chris Cable in the 05 announces that he is going to come by next time by. Mark Brachter is going to come in next time by. The whole field, 24, Stefan Marinak is going to come down pit road as well. And so Chad Cole's going to start it off. He was sitting second after leading the first 27 laps of this race. He's going to come down pit road. He's going to put 4 fresh Goodyear tires on it, fill her up with Sunoco Racing fuel, and get going. So now it's time for the big wave of green flag pit stops to start hitting pit road. Now Dwayne Vincent is the question how long he'll stay out. That was also a 14-second pit stop for Chad Cole. Ben Burnett, the 37, also down. Now Dwayne Vincent's going to pull off from the lead position. He's going to come down pit road, and now the caution flag will fly right in the middle of green flag pit stops. This could change everything. Dwayne Vincent, he's going to skip his pit stall. Not going to worry about it. He's going to come back out onto the racetrack. Caution out in the middle of green flag pit stops with 15 or so cars on pit road. That's going to be interesting. We're hearing Jimmy North could have caused the incident. He blew his motor trying to get down through the gears on the pit road on lap 27, coming across the line to take lap 28. Number 84, Jimmy North, off turn number 3, lost the motor on the front straightaway, and he ended up becoming stopped. He got way down, almost into the grass, and stopped, but that may have been the cause of our caution.
Yeah, Jimmy's had a tough night all night. He was involved in an earlier incident. It wasn't the first wreck, but he had some trouble with another car and hitting the wall. And now he's stuck 7 laps down. He was 6 laps down when that caution came out. So. So now he's going to have to. He's on pit road and might not be able to make any repairs. His night could be done. He's now in 31st position.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, this happened. I mean, we saw cars near the back of the field that were coming down to pit, and then once Chad Cole came down after he pretty much accepted that Vincent had passed him for that first position, he pretty much gave up on it, came down pit road, and then we saw at least 20 other race cars. Everybody else on the lead lap came in. Vincent came in the next time by, and right as he was about to hit his pit stall, the caution came out, and he actually did not enter his stall. He just continued on throughout the out of pit road, not making his stop while he was down there. And there's a big stack up going on in turn 3. There is lots of confusion right now. The Real Sim Racing officials trying to sort this out because the scoring loops when you have drivers coming down pit road and when the caution came out can be very complicated at times. But right now, Doug Roth is being shown as your leader. He is on pit road. John Abbott, they're currently trying to cycle through, get this scoring updated at the moment.
Yeah, John Abbott, Rich Jett, Mike King, Jade Williams, they were right there in the top 5, but they're now coming down pit road. Our new leader is going to be Ben Burnett as they go across the line this time by. And as you see that, we just saw Dwayne Vincent, Keith Brooks, and it looks like John Hickman Jr. just made their way around the pace car to get back up on the tail end, so they're going to be all right. Rhett McBride, Stefan Marinak are going to also go on by, so they will still be on the lead lap. But your first car lap down is Brian Harvey and Josh Cheney and CJ Oliveira. CJ has made a good comeback after those early pit stops he had to do.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we get things sorted out here on caution. We're going to step away and take a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back at Pocono.
HD Radio Network. Join 5,000 5,000 plus other listeners where you can hear everything from big 80s metal to classic rock and roll, country radio, ETV, live sports radio, even adult and unplugged rock and roll. HDRadioNetwork.com, one of the fastest growing internet radio networks, HDRadioNetwork.com. Take it with you, cowboy. Get the mobile app for Android, iPhone, iPad, and all the rest from TuneIn.com.
Inside SimRacing.tv, the fastest show on the internet. Sim racing news and reviews since 2007, with new shows every week.
And welcome back to Pocono Raceway. It is the Real Sim Racing Full Throttle Cup Series, race number 21 on the 2013 campaign. We are currently under our second caution of the day. Everybody is still trying to figure out their positions, obviously in confusing time when the caution came out. And you are watching again on ETV Live. And how about ETV Live itself? ETV Live is the only choice in simulation auto racing broadcasting since 2008. ETV has produced over 700 shows for over 220,000 viewers. ETV Live has pioneered and engineered some of the best innovations in online auto sports broadcasting with 3 pricing packages available. Book yours today, the industry experts. ETV Live, it's the only choice. Contact us at etv-eplay.net. or send us an email at etv-eplay.net. Take a look at that broadcast calendar, a bunch of stuff to get to entertain your sim racing needs weekly here, and we're right in the middle of the busy season. We have the Double Clutch Short Track Racing League, obviously 2 Real Sim Racing leagues. We have the Full Throttle Cup, the Asphalt Assault. We have Cora Sunday Money sometimes on Sunday once their season gets going again. ETV Live Team Series, Super Speedway Cup, and a whole bunch of great radio shows. So again, ETV Live, so much stuff for you guys to check out, so make sure you take a look after the race. Well, the lights are off on the pace car. Doug Roth is going to somehow cycle his way through to the lead position after all this goes down. Chad Cole, he lucked out. He came down to pit early. He started the big frenzy of the green flag pit stops. He's going to be sitting right now in second place as you look at the running order. And one person that this is going to bite, Dwayne Vincent at number 13, is going to now find himself sitting 18th position. So this is really going to shuffle up our field. Doug Roth, not sure how he did it, but he's in the lead. Started this race 19th. He's currently sitting P1 on lap number 39. Again, lights are off on the pace car. We're working our way down one of our back straightaways. Going to go into turn 3. And we will be taking the green flag this time by. Some drivers still need to pit to serve any black flags. They may have just missed pit road. So everything's still getting sorted out, but it will be Doug Roth that's going to lead us up the green.
I just saw Ronnie Potts waving through the field. He's trying to get back into his spot. That we still have. The in-game spotter will tell you sometimes to be where you're not supposed to be, and that's what's been going on here. And that'll happen during cautions, during pit stops like that. And looks like when the green flag comes out, we're going to get the 05 Chris Cable's going to come down and try to serve his black flag. The green flag is out. Doug Ross going to take the lead. The first battle we do have on the track is Cale Dressback is getting right up under Chad Cole as they enter turn 1.
3 wide, 4 wide, contact, red car into the wall. That's the 38. Bratcher's up there. They are 4 wide all over the place in turn number 1. It's a mess of cars. Still 3 wide. The 26, 24, 15. Rhett McBride. They are all battling for position. Things starting to heat up at Pocono. They're single filed out in front of them, but all around 10th position. It is still a mess of race cars battling for position. 25. Nick Silver in 11th place. Nearly got into the rear end of the 53 car, I do believe. And still, Sean Castaway than the number 58. Everyone's still trying to sort themselves out after a chaotic green flag start.
Evan, it looked like the 88 of Adam Roberts just didn't turn going into turn 1, and Mark Bratcher had nowhere to go. If he's upset, he has no reason. I mean, he has all the reasons to be upset because he gave all the room that was needed, and he turned left, and Adam Roberts didn't turn left, and they had contact. That went 4 wide. That would not have been good because his teammate Rhett McBride was right under him as he was on the outside of them 4 wide. He's going to readjust, though, but he did fall back all the way to the 18th position. Now he's right behind Ronnie Potts. He's going to look low over there. He's going to get it under him, and he'll probably make the pass as we go into the tunnel turn.
Well, someone who just did make that pass, Chad Cole in the 8 back up front, obviously with a dominant race car. Doug Roth going back now to the 2nd position right now, and you mentioned we've seen that so many times where a driver will try to dive low into the corner and they'll drive it in too hot. And I mean, I saw 3, 4 wide. I was up and taking a look at that blimp cam, and I just saw that red car. I knew it was Bratcher, got a better look, and they were all over the place. It's amazing that they did not wreck through that corner because there were cars slipping and sliding, crossing each other over all throughout that. Somehow we're still green. Chad Cole up front, Doug Roth sitting in 2nd, Cale Dresback in 3rd.
And after you say those top 3, we do have a new person in 4th. Sean Castro made his way around Mike King. A nice little pass going to turn 1 here on lap 42. We're closing in on coming up. We got about 24 laps left. This race has gone by pretty quickly. And these drivers, of course, Chad Cole and Dwayne Vince have been making great lap times, but Dwayne, he's got some catching up to do. He's a little under 4 seconds behind in 15th position. That caution really made this a difficult thing for him to get back up to the front where he, I guess you could say where he belongs, but that's where Dwayne Vincent always is. And if he's not up front, he hates the world, as I've said in the past.
I mean, I'm wondering why he did not pit, because the caution came out when he was already on pit road, and instead of just putting on the tires, he waited, got back, he continued to drive through pit road, then he ended up to come back in, and I guess that's what got him back. He's sitting 15th right in front of him. Let's take a look at this battle for 13th position. Nearly contact between the 15 of Rhett McBride and the 53 of Jade Williams. They are going to be side by side going into that tunnel turn. 15 is going to slide up, contact. That's going to knock the 53 Williams up into the wall. Collects Dwayne Vincent. 53 around. Caution will fly. 14 involves. Cars upside down. And Dwayne Vincent. Wow.
Yeah, Joey Katina and Ben Burnett also got involved. Ben Burnett just slowed down trying to get nowhere, but Joey Katina, he really, yeah, it actually wasn't the 14. That was
Rhett McBride, I do believe. The 15.
Yeah, Brian Lambert nope. It was a 12 car. I take that back. I apologize. He had nowhere to go right there as he got it flipped around, and of course Ronnie Potts trying to go around it, got a little bit and helped flip him over a little bit more, but that is another caution out here tonight on lap 43. We got some drivers coming down pit road. John Higman Jr., that 44 car, he has retired out of the race. He will not finish this race, but this is good news for CJ Lavera. He was the first car 1 lap down. He's going to get the lucky dog as it is about to be given to him, and he's going to drive very fast around the outside of everyone to come back around to the tail end of the lead lap as we wait for him to get that. But meanwhile, our top 5 is up front is Chad Cole, Doug Roth, Cale Dressback. How about him? He's having a great race. Also, Sean Casto made another pass, and Mike King.
You saw that on the replay. That 53 got some pretty serious air and that all started when he made contact with the 15 of Rhett McBride, and it didn't look like the 15 really slid up a lot, just that little bit. And as bad of a situation as that is for Dwayne Vincent back in the field, he got smashed in the side, and he did not spin, so a relatively lucky situation, you could say, for Dwayne Vincent. I mean, he got plowed by that 53, and all he did was skip it through the grass. He may have some internal stuff, but he definitely got the short end of this. Or he did a lot better than some of those other guys did. Well, all the guys with damage are now going to come down pit road. Look at that mess there. Everyone faking each other out. But up front, Chad Cole still up there. A lot of angry drivers over the radios after that incident.
Yeah, and I know Red McBride was leaning on that car sponsored by that has the lean on the. So ironic that happens. Now on pit road is Adam Roberts. He was in 12th position, and Eric Arnold also coming down there too. So maybe they're making their last pit stop to make their way up to make their way to the finish. That's an interesting strategy. I like that. That's if you're about behind the top 10, that's a good time to do that. Now making his way back in the top 10, Dick Silver. Jose Gonzalez, he's fallen back down to 9th. Him and Stefan are back there in 8th and 9th. Stefan Marinak is another guy that I'm looking forward to being in the top 10. Rich Jett, he's just hovering around the 7th position, keeping it steady. And John Abbott has come all the way from the back again, up to 6th. He's having a great run in that Nesquik Chevy Impala SS.
And definitely, and well, Chad Cole needed Dwayne Vincent to have a rough day at the racetrack. Vincent was up front, got caught on the yellow flag, started in mid-pack, and when the wreck happened in front of him, he just could not avoid it, and he took a T-bone to the door, and he is sitting on pit road getting repairs right now, while Chad Cole is sitting in first position. So Chad Cole, if his spotters told him what's going on right now, I guess he's liking what he's hearing, because this is what he needed to see, is that 8 sitting up front still.
Yeah, it's real tough for Dwayne. I know he doesn't want to see Dwayne wreck, but this only helps him by Dwayne finishing towards the back. But you know Dwayne's going to be upset getting caught up in other people's messes. The only time he's really okay is if he causes it, but then he's still kicking himself. We will get we're going to have 2 more laps before we go green here. We'll probably get the green with about on lap 49. We'll have about 11 or 12 laps to go when we get the green flag. So we're going to have a pretty interesting 12-lap run. We do have cars that came down pit road, as I mentioned. Also coming down pit road at that time was Dwayne Vincent. He's now back in 19th. And who was about to pit. CJ Oliveira was about to pit, but he's sitting in front of pit road, and now he's not going to go down pit road. He's going to make his way down the inside of the front straightaway. I'm not sure what happened there.
Can't
Maybe
decide.
we had some miscommunication, I guess, because he's just sitting there like, you know what? I don't know what to do. And then he finally just pulled back onto the track.
Well, Dwayne Vincent is in 20th position right now. He's going to come back down pit road. He waited there right up until the field was about to hit the start-finish line. He took off to stay on the lead lap, so he's going to try to get that 13 Ford Fusion fixed up and ready to get going. Maybe not in competitive condition, but definitely a raceable one for sure to stay out there and try to pick up a few spots from the runners back there in the high teens and try to salvage what he can. I mean, he has a 32-point lead. Or he has the points lead by 32 points going into tonight, so he's going to try to savor as much as he can out of that. As this is all assuming also that Chad Cole doesn't have any issues. He's sitting up front. So we'll see how this night shakes out. We're lap 46 right now. Light's still on the pace car, as you mentioned, of a 65-lap race. So we have about 20 to go.
And it's interesting to know, the race were to finish right now, Dwayne Vincent's lead points lead would be basically cut in half. He'd lose about 19 to 20 points. Of that 30-point lead, it'd be cutting over half. So Dwayne is really banking on this going green for the rest of the time so he can make his way all around as many cars as he can. Or another thing Dwayne's hoping for is he's in 20th position. He's hoping for a 19-car wreck with all the cars in front of him on the lead lap, and that'll put him in the lead. So you can still dream, right, Evan?
It can. I mean, need some
we,
help.
we
but
did see
it's-
we have seen some big wrecks, especially in the Super Speedway Cup Series
Oh.
last week.
I saw that one. I was watching the stream, stalking, and I caught that. The junkyard. But no, again, lights off on the pace car. You're watching the 2013 Real Sim Racing Full Throttle Cup Series presented by Bob Earl Racing. And again, all these drivers are going for one thing, and that is the VRC Mark II Virtual Racing Seat. It is a simulation racing cockpit designed by championship race car driver Bob Earl. Who better than a real race car driver to design a simulation racing cockpit? After all, he knows what it means to be comfortable behind the wheel. The design features a fully adjustable seat and frame, additional monitor stand, and shifter mount sold separately. Proud sponsor of the 2013 Real Sim Racing Full Throttle Cup Series. It is a high-quality and affordable virtual racing cockpit priced at just $349 US plus shipping. See it today at www.bobearlracing. Again, the field lights off on the pace car, and we're going to look to get green. Still a lot of heated arguments over the radio. Let's see how this thing shakes out.
Evan, you sold that so well. I think I'm gonna pull up my credit card after this, and I hate doing that.
I need to do a couple more broadcasts if I want to be able to get me that. But.
And we did just pass through the tunnel turn. Chad Cole anxiously waiting to get the green flag. He's sitting in this car thinking, man, let's get this race over with. I'm in the lead. Dwayne's all the way in the back. I need this then now. He wouldn't mind if we got cautions all the way out, because that's less chances that Dwayne Vincent has to catch up to him, because Dwayne is the last car on the lead lap now. He has been passed by CJ, because Dwayne did have to come down pit road again. And we are now coming out of turn 3. Evan, you ready for this restart?
Well, there's less laps than before, and we saw what happened last time. Let's see what happens. The Ford First Racing Mustang pace car is on the pit road. There goes Chad Cole. The field is only double file for now. Let's see, they're shuffling back and near, right by Dwayne Vincent, actually. He's sitting 3 wide right now. Other than that, they're 2 wide up front as we work our way into turn number 1. Chad Cole pulling away from Doug Roth. He's opened up a little bit of a gap for now, and he's going to hang on to that first spot. One car sliding back near the rear of the field is the number 27 of Guy Snyder in 31st. He just slid through 2 cars back there. It's pretty hairy up front, but a little bit more tame than I guess what we saw last time. They're clean and green so far into 2.
Yeah, they're clean and green, and we do have 13 laps to go left here at Pocono here on ETV Live. We did have 3 wide. Jose Gonzalez was right
Caution flag
on the inside. The caution is out. We got to find out what happened.
Looking through the field, and obviously an incident. We saw 3 2 wide near the back of the field. Taking a look, not too sure what the incident is for. There are a couple cars, and there is one car wrecked out of turn number 2, almost collecting Brennan Mercer. Taking a look, that will be the...
Oh, that's Keith Brooks Jr.
Yes, the 71 car.
Yeah. Yeah, he overcorrected right there and pointed that car right at that outside wall. And that car went right for the outside wall, and he pounded it, and he is now out of the race. That is real tough. He's probably going to fall back to about the 29th position, 28th position. Yeah, he will finish 28th, because last car... Actually, he will finish right in 30th, because Guy Snyder and Douglas White are still on the track. Guy Snyder, he's been a lap down since probably the first 10 laps of the race, and he's 9 laps down, and Douglas White is 5 laps down. They dug in the trenches tonight, and they're dealt with it. That's got to be the toughest thing going around Pocono, at least 5 laps down, knowing there's nothing you can do except for wait for cars to wreck out.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if they toss an EOL penalty to the number 21 car for, quote, causing the caution, which is the rule here, because the 71 of Keith Brooks Jr. kind of slid up into that 21, but the 21 is what sent the 71 around, and I mean, that 71 just missed the left rear quarter panel of the number 21 of Josh Cheney, and I mean, that's fortunate to only be a 1-car incident when you look at that. It was near the rear of the field. That's not what you want to see up front, because that's how you take out a lot of cars, but it was a close call for a bunch of guys in the rear.
Yeah, we're coming up on 11 laps to go. I feel like we were just talking about how much the race was going by, and it's going by even quicker, and we're under caution. But these cars have put on a great race for us tonight here at Pocono, which is because it's Pocono, and not many people like racing. I know I don't enjoy racing here. I never ever do. Even before this season, the last time I raced at Pocono was in a NASCAR 2K3, and that was when I last raced that. That was over 5 years ago. And I was still in high school. Evan, I'm getting old. You got to help me.
Well, don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we're going to come on back to see how these guys settle this thing out. We'll be right back from Pocono.
HD Radio Network. Join 5,000 plus other listeners where you can hear everything from big 80s metal to classic rock and roll, country radio, ETV, live sports radio, even adult and unplugged rock and roll. HDRadioNetwork.com, one of the fastest growing internet radio networks. HDRadioNetwork.com. Take it with you, cowboy. Get the mobile app for Android, iPhone, iPad, and all the rest from TuneIn.com.
Inside SimRacing.tv, the fastest show on the internet. Sim racing news and reviews since 2007, with new shows every week.
Welcome back to Pocono Raceway. The lights, I do believe, are still on the pace car currently. So we are still pacing right now, currently on lap 51 of 65, so just under 15 laps to go here for about our third or fourth caution of the night. Again, still a lot of heated drivers, and with a track like Pocono, watch those restarts. Chad Cole sitting up front right now, second in the point standings. Dwayne Vincent, your points leader, gained 4 positions on that last run. He's currently sitting in the 16th position. Clint, how many more cautions are we going to have till the end of this race? Because it's going to get pretty crazy.
Well, I do have this crystal ball in front of me, Evan. I'm glad you asked, because I haven't got to use it yet, and I am looking at my crystal ball, and I think we have Dwayne Vincent on the radio.
Wow, that is some accuracy right there. I got to get you one of those. Dwayne Vincent on the radio. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, Dwayne, you're sitting first in the points right now. What happened there? We saw you up front. You were coming down pit road when the caution came out. A lot of confusion. That kind of sent you to the back of the field.
Yeah, I don't know if I should have stopped and pitted or not. I decided to go back out. I still had a gallon or two left, so I was hoping not to get stuck in this position, and I did anyway.
Yeah, just one of those racing deals. Obviously, a wreck mid-pack right in front of you. Really couldn't get away from it. I mean, you didn't get spun into the inside wall pretty much like everybody else did. Came down pit road. We saw you getting that thing fixed. How's the car?
It's not good. I got it all fixed up, but it lost a lot of speed. So just gonna get what we can.
And definitely, so pretty much I was going to ask you, what are you going to do for the rest of the race? You mentioned it there. Just get what you can. Obviously, you're looking at points here. You won 10 wins this season. Probably not going to get it going this night, but just trying to salvage what you can in points.
That's it, man. That's all we can do, and hopefully stay out of trouble. A couple of guys around here make me nervous, but it is what it is.
We'll watch that 13 car, Dwayne Vincent, to try to keep his nose clean as the lap stick down. Thanks for taking a chat with us again. Dwayne Vincent, your point leader, currently sitting in the 17th position.
Thank you.
I understand what he means by getting nervous. That will happen when you're back around the 17th position. But, hey, Evan, the lights are off in his pace car, and I will tell you, I will go back to my crystal ball.
Yeah, well, let's get an update
right
on
in front
that.
of me. It has its own chair, actually. And the crystal ball, I'm putting my hand above it, and it's telling me we will have one more caution, and then the race will end. And Chad Cole will win. That's
Chad
what
Cole's
tells
gonna
me.
take it. Well, I mean, Chad Cole, dominant car of the night. I still don't know how
I'm really reaching,
Doug
aren't
Ross.
I?
That's a pretty out there prediction. I don't even know. I'm still wondering how Doug Ross managed to end up on that front row when that the caution came out. But I mean, he hasn't really done much to try to go for Chad Cole so far. Maybe he's hiding something, holding back a little bit. I mean, you also have Cale Dresbach right there, the 24, Stefan Marinak sitting in 6th. Lots of good guys in the top 10. So we'll see how this thing shakes out, and let's see if we can make it to turn 2 under green. Dresbach finished 6th place last year. He's currently sitting in 4th, so he knows his way around this racetrack. With Chad Cole looking to try to pick up as many points as he can as we work our way into turn number 3 here at Pocono Race. We're looking for the green.
As we come out of turn 3, pace car is going to come down. Chad Cole will start the race whenever he wants to, once that pace car is in. And when the green flag does come out, we're going to have 8 laps to go here at the RSR
Here we go.
Full Throttle Cup Series. Live at Pocono on ETV Live. Chad Cole will start the race. He gets a great start. Sean Castor right behind him. He is right up under Doug Roth. Cale Dresbach is just looking at what was happening, how he missed that start too. Mike King just watching. Casto and Roth, they make contact as they head into turn 1. And he backs off. Wow.
Vincent said he's nervous. Well, they just had 3 wide right in front of him back there through the field. Everyone trying to shuffle it out. Doug Roth trying to hang on to that second position. Obviously, Sean Casto went when he saw Chad Cole, and that kind of puts the person starting in second place always at a disadvantage. And if they keep battling each other, Chad Cole's going to get away. Now, Sean Casto to second place. Doug Ross going to let him do it in the tunnel turn. They're going to work their way heading towards turn number 3. 2 wide, starts back around 7th position. But it's Chad Cole right now. We're looking to come to take about 12 or 11 laps to go.
Yeah, back here for the 6th spot, look like, or 7th spot, Rich Jett. Cale Dresbach actually fell all the way back there, and he fell back all the way to 6th position to get Rich Jett right up on him. And Jose Gonzalez, who was up on him out of turn 3, and then they got a little contact, so they're going to back out a little bit. And as I say that, Nick Silver goes into the corner, extremely hot, right around Red McBride. Nick's in 10th position. Right now he's got Eric Arnold right up under him. As they make their way down the, I guess, second straightaway towards the tunnel turn here. And right behind them is another battle. John Abbott's on the outside with CJ Lavera on the inside. CJ's going to stomp on the brakes. He's going to try to pass him. He's going to get into Eric Arnold. Eric Arnold's going to slide up in the corner. He's going to collect John Abbott. John Abbott's also on the fence. And looks like, oh, we got another car. 52's around. That's Brian Lambert. Do we have another caution, Evan?
The caution flag is out. They just stacked it up. I mean, you look, the 4, just got loose coming up. He clipped the 47 of Eric Arnold. They got sideways, and that's right mid-pack where we see all the incidents. The 10, John Abbott. That happened again right in front of Dwayne Vincent. I can't blame him when he says he gets nervous in the middle of the field. It's not where you want to be. And then Eric Arnold was sideways in front of the track. The 52 car got spun by the 14, trying to avoid the incident. Another mess, and well, there's your one and only caution that your Magic Crystal Ball is predicted, and it's going to come out. We're going to go green, hopefully, with about 8 or 7 laps to go right now as we currently work lap 55. And how about Stefan Marinak in that 24 Chevrolet restarted 16th. He's got a fast horse under him.
I'm going to apologize. I've been giving the wrong lap countdown. I've been reading that wrong. We do have 11 laps to go if they're going to come to 10 to go, so we will get one more green flag run, and Chad Cole is loving these cautions. Dwayne, he's come back from 20th. He is in the 14th position, right behind Adam Roberts. Yeah, it's like an Adam Roberts, Brian Harvey sandwich is what Dwayne Vincent's in right now. Mark Bratcher made his way back up there 11th, but Nick Silver fell out of the top 5. He's all the way back to 10th. Also, another guy who was in the top 5 all of earlier in the race was Rhett McBride. He's back there in 9th. Right behind Jose Gonzalez and Rich Jett. They're all looking to get back in the top 5. That's where they've been all race, and all of a sudden they're out of it. But up front, who's up in it? Sean Casto's up to 3rd. He had a great restart on that last restart. And Stefan Marinak has come back from earlier trouble up to the 4th position. Mike King staying stagnant up there in the 5th position in his 04 Air Force Chevrolet.
Well, this caution may actually harm Chad Cole because Dwayne Vincent was right by where that incident took place. You're looking at some onboards on the replay there. Well, Vincent was sitting 19th position, and I guess 5 cars were spun to the point where it will allow Dwayne Vincent to now be shown in 14th spot.
If I'm Dwayne Vincent, the caution was coming out, I'm going to gas it. I'm not going to slow down if I see cars wrecking because it's in bad taste and it's kind of against sim racing ethics. But when you're that far back and you don't normally race back there, you're going to do whatever you can to get back up front when you only have, as of now, 10 laps to go. I would just go full throttle, Days of Thunder through wrecks, trying to gain positions.
Do whatever you can. Well, he said he's going to try to salvage what he can. He's going to be sitting in 14th position. However, that is still right there in the middle of the field where we see these crazy restarts. So, I mean, nothing's guaranteed, really. Some people say when they have really long races, they drop to the back to be safe. Well, really, the only safest spot on the racetrack is the leader, and you're the guy with the biggest bullseye on your bumper. So nothing's guaranteed. The light's still on the pace car, and we are currently pacing again. We're at Pocono Raceway, working lap 56 of 65.
And this race is brought to you by the Bob Earl VRC Mark II Virtual Racing Seat. It's a simulation racing cockpit designed by championship race car driver Bob Earl. Who better than a real race car driver to design a simulation racing cockpit after all? He knows what it means to be comfortable in the cockpit. The design features a fully adjustable seat and frame. Additional monitor stand and shifter mounts are sold separately. The VRC Mark II Virtual Racing Seat is the proud sponsor of the 2013 RSR Full Throttle Cup Series. It is a high-quality and affordable virtual racing cockpit priced at just $349 plus shipping. At BobEarlRacing.com. Don't forget, order one today. www.BobEarlRacing.com.
Bob Earl Racing, definitely. Hey, you sold that one pretty good too.
I'm serious.
Well, we're still under caution. The lights on the pace car still not off, so we're going to go at least 2 more laps of caution around this very long 2.5 mile tricky triangle. Possibly. I mean, working it down, seeing what's going to happen. Again, top 5 right now. Chad Cole, Doug Ross, Sean Casto, and Stefan Marinak, Mike King. Currently the top 5.
And round out the top 10 is Cal Dressbag, Rich Jet, Jose, Tequila Joe, as Cowboy says, Jose Gonzalez, Rhett McBride, and Nick Silver.
Again, Pocono Raceway, such a unique racetrack known as the Tricky Triangle. 3 turns. Why you see it on the wall there in turn 3. It says what turn 4. And just to quickly go through this again, a cool fact about the track. All 3 turns are modeled after different racetracks and are all different banking. Again, turn number 1 is sitting at 14 degrees and it's modeled after the Trenton Speedway. Turn 2, 9 degrees, the tunnel turn is modeled after the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and turn 3 at 6 degrees is modeled after the Milwaukee Mile.
Got a new nickname for you, Evan, with your stats. Evan, don't you know Pocono?
Oh, I'm reading this. I don't know nothing. I Googled it without Google.
Good for you for looking up the stats.
Initiative.
And that's true. He did break, as John Wessling said, he did break the record for most vacation days at ETV Live. I still haven't gotten those vacation days. JD Webb does have some explaining to do. Me and Cowboy got to talk later.
Well, we're still under caution.
I know he's listening, so
he's stalking.
I got you, JD.
We haven't seen too much of John's blimp cam tonight. JD loves that thing. Remember, we're showing those, especially with those big wrecks. The International Space Station, as he calls it. Well, we're going to take another quick look at the pace car. The lights are off. Yeah, there you go. 1 to go. Here we go. Let's get going here. Let's see if we can make it clean. There's the view from the International Space Station, as JD calls it, the blimp cam. I mean, this is a big racetrack, so those cars are like some ants way down there, and he can zoom that thing way in there. But we're doubled up, getting ready to go green. Will we go caution-free to the end? Nobody knows, but we're going to find out as we work our way through turn number 1. We got 2 more turns to go, and then we're going to see what happens.
Josh Cheney is the lucky dog. He's going to get waved around as you saw him blaze by your screen. He's going to be in the 22nd position, tail end the lead lap. John Abbott, after that wreck, he's fallen back to 21st along with Eric Arnold. I'm sure Eric is none too happy after that wreck. He can get very emotional during races, and I don't blame him sometimes. We are making our way towards the tunnel turn. They're almost there, and I know Chad Cole is. Again, he's anxiously waiting. We only have one more chance for a caution. It could come out as they take the green flag. They only have one lap. After that, once they take the white, anything can happen, and that does make it the most exciting lap in racing.
So, here we go. We're on lap 58 of 65. 8 laps remaining. You see it there at the ticker at the top of the screen again. And we are getting ready to go green as we work our way in between turns 2 and 3. It will be row number 1, Chad Cole and Doug Roth. Row 2, Sean Casto and Stefan Marinak. Row 3, Mike King and Cale Dresbeck. Row 4, Rich Jett, Jose Gonzalez. And row 5, Rhett McBride and Nick Silver. We're going to come to the green. We're working our way through turn number 3. Every single person at this Pocono race with a capacity of 76,812, thank you to Google for that, are on their feet. We're off of turn number 3. The Ford First Racing Mustang pace car is going to dive down to pit road. Green flag is out, and there goes Chad Cole.
Chad Cole's going to take off really quick, and Sean Castro gets another great start, and my screws are still loose tonight. There are 65 laps. We do have 7 to go now. Sean Casto is going to gingerly make his way into the corner. No, he's not. He's going to shoot down there. He's going to try to take the position away from Doug Roth, and he does. How about Stefan Marinak right behind him making the pass on the outside over Mike King? Impressive. Stefan's now going to try to make his way under Doug Roth for the 3rd position. Stefan is trying to make, in 2 corners, going to make 2 passes, and that's really tough to do here in Pocono, especially when he made a pass on the outside in turn 1.
Well, we know that he's fast. It's just a question of getting it done. He's going to get around the 43 now of Doug Roth. Chad Cole still your leader. How about Sean Casto now in the 2nd position? And also Dwayne Vincent moved his way up to 12th positions. Vincent's going to make 2. He's going to pass 2 cars at the same time on the high side in turn 3. And he's going to tap the wall a little bit there. So fighting for everything he has. Chad Cole with a 3/10 second lead over Sean Casto and then Stefan Marinak. If a caution were to come out now, 24 is a fast and need to be right behind your leader. So he's searching for grip way up the track. Chad Coles is not pulling away much from Sean Casto. Let's see how this thing shakes out with merely 5 laps to go when we come by the straight.
Yeah, a little under 5 laps, about 5.5 laps left to go. The battle is for the 4th position. Tequila Joe, Jose Gonzalez, they have some contact with Doug Roth and Mike King.
43
Doug
in
Roth
the wall.
gets the worst of it as he falls all the way to the back. Jose's going to just, gather his things and make his way around both of them as he will now take over the 4th position. That's 2 positions that lap for him. And right behind Nick Silver was trying to think what the heck was going on there. As he gets run off the corner, he's going to try to make his way around Mike King. Mike King's kind of running the blocking line, but not really because he doesn't want to get accused of blocking.
Yeah, how about Dwayne Vincent up to 9th position with a damaged race car? I mean, when he was back in 20th, he was looking to soften the points blow. Well, heck, this isn't going to be too bad. A top 10 after being involved in an incident. He is still going for it. And now Chad Cole checking out on Sean Casto. He's got a 1/2 second lead. And then Marinak, another 1/2 second back to Casto. So will it be Chad Cole's race, or will we see Jacques Debris come out and group us up for a green-white checker? Chad Cole, clean and green right now, and it looks like he's got this thing under control.
Evan, I love this battle for the 7th position between Rhett McBride and Rich Jett. Rich Jett is all over Rhett McBride, but Rhett is not giving up at all. He's throwing the blocks. He does not want to lose his position. And he's still running fast enough to where it's not, pretty blatant that Rich Jett is much faster than him. And of course, you see cars weaving down the front straightaway. They're all trying to keep each other's draft, and it's always the car at the very front that's trying to lose their draft, make it that much harder for them to catch up. Rhett McBride's going to hold on to 7th, right behind Nick Silver, Nick has been running an outstanding race. We are single file all the way back to 10th place. Dwayne Vincent's still back there. It's going to be pretty tough for him to catch everybody again now, as he's about 1/2 second behind Rich Jett, who's in 8th. As I say that, he gains 3/10 in that corner. We are coming up to 3 to go. 4 to go. I
Chad
apologize.
Cole now 9/10 of a second on from Sean Casto. He won Pocono earlier in the year. He put down a qualifying time of 53.991. He broke the 54-second barrier, and right now he's looking to take home the checkered flag, and he's doing what he needs to do. He now is going to extend that lead to 1.1 seconds. Looking to finish.
Oh,
this
Adam
thing up.
Roberts just punted Mark Bratcher. Mark Bratcher's into turn 1.
Oh,
He's
Big
involved
Rat,
Chris
05.
Cable, Adam Roberts, Mark Bratcher, Chris Cable, 66, Brian Harvey. It looked like Bratcher got punted. I saw some radio chatter going on, going down the front straightaway. I wasn't able to decipher what was being said, but I don't think. Well, I'm going to assume, and
This
I don't
is
like
going to
doing
end
this.
the race. Also.
Yeah, this will end the race. Adam Roberts gave the old boot to Mark Bratcher. Mark is not happy. He's sitting up there in turn 1.
I'm going to take a look. I mean, he just, whether intentional or not, if he gave him the boot all right, and I took a look over, 38 got sideways, tried to save it, and came up, caught the 05 Cable, and got airborne up into the wall. 66 was collected. They blocked the racetrack. Another 4-car incident. And with no green-white checkered finishes, this is going to end the race. Dwayne Vincent's going to get 9th place. How about that? But it will be Chad Cole, if he can make it around to the start-finish line, will be picking up his 5th win of the season. Look at that camera shot there.
And this brings us to an interesting point. I know this might be something you'll cover tomorrow, but when you in your rerun BS and back talk, y'all haven't plugged it that much tonight. I'm so shocked. Y'all's show, I absolutely look forward to it because y'all do a great job. JD and Jimmy North, and when he can make it, old executive producer.
What happened to him?
Dakota Ehrman.
Where is he?
Dakota's a big boy now, Evan. That happens in life. You know,
They grow up so fast. He's moving on.
John Westling said he's been potty trained, so you know he's gone through his pull-ups and his diapers, and now he's using the big boy toilet. So we got Mark Bratcher up here. Mark, what was going on? We saw some radio chatter, and then we just saw you looks like you got punted going into turn 1.
Yeah, we definitely got punted there at the end. I don't know. That was the second time that Adam run me up. You know, he run me up early in the race and run me into the wall, and then he run me over right there. And the Massengill Expert Chevrolet train was running. Ford Fusion was running really good tonight. Very, very frustrated and trying to keep my emotions under control so I don't get banned.
Yeah. Save it for next week. That's what I say. We got people talking on here saying it's hard for you to keep your emotions under control, but you are doing a great job. You'll get them again Thursday because I know you're my teammate and you'll run real well when we go to what is it, Mid-Ohio on Thursday for the Asphalt Assault Series? Yeah, and each year we'll cover that.
Yeah, all the guys back at the shop are building us a car together, and and it's gonna be the first time to the track, so we're gonna show up a little bit early and practice a little bit. Then we got the Glen next Monday night, so we'll be preparing for that too. Just not a whole lot of things. We can't control the other guy's brake pedal as much as we'd like to, and there's a couple
lack of use of brake pedal.
Yeah,
and that's happened to me before too. So.
Yeah, and I got into the back of Brian Harvey earlier in the race, and he was able to save it. And then I got in the back of Dwayne Vincent, which that was completely out of my control there. And so he's a little bit frustrated with the 38 car tonight, but we're also just as frustrated with him. And we definitely got some frustration with Adam Roberts tonight. So,
well, Mark, you always got your into tough guys, and we've seen cases of that in races that we've been in, and you're showing great restraint right now. And I'm glad you're my teammate on Thursday nights. Thank you for coming up here to talk to us. I know this is a tough break. But thank you for coming up to talk to us, Mark.
Hey, don't worry. Bristol's in like 3 races.
Yeah, we're in the mix for the chase, guys. So we're points racing week in and week out. So we got to work on recovery and recovering from this incident and gain it back into points because I'm sure we'll lose a spot or two that we can't really afford to right now with about 6 races to go till then. And we'll just happen to see how it goes. And we're definitely not a retaliation team. So we don't want to put ourselves in position to be in the back of the pack because it's a nightmare back there.
Chad Cole is now going to come across the stripe under caution. He's going to take the checkered and yellow at the same time. Chad Cole's going to win at Pocono. Sean Casto is going to take home second place. He says he loves this track. He's going to be a top 2. Stefan Marinak finishing 3rd. Gonzalez in 4th. And Mike King will round off the top 5. Clint, how was the race from your perspective? We saw a lot of heated emotions, a lot of composed emotions, and just great racing overall, I guess.
Again, this series never fails us, but there are some drivers that, and I'll say this, there are some drivers that are not showing self-control out on the track when things happen, and then they just go and maybe punch somebody or door them, and there's really no place for that.
There was lots of beating and banging.
Yeah, and I know some of it was unintentional. I know Rhett McBride got up and hit someone, but his was unintentional. He's one of the cleanest drivers out there. But you do have some guys that, and I've seen it in races past, that they will go and they will retaliate.
You mentioned,
but all in all, that was a great race, and congratulations to Chad Cole tonight.
I do believe his 5th win of the season, and that's just going to give JD some more stuff to talk about tomorrow night for the Rewind BS and Back Talk radio show. Apparently, I'm going to be joining them. We'll see how that works out.
Oh, look at you! You're big time, Evan.
Sure.
You are Evan Big Time Pocono.
Well, what happened to Know It All?
That's your new nickname.
Without Google, I mean, JD keeps telling me that something about we wouldn't not graduate without Google, but I think that's a double negative, so I think Google helped me out there too. But I don't know. Great race.
No, Google always helps.
Gotta get back on track here. So yeah, another great race here at Pocono. 65 laps in the book. Don't go anywhere. We're going to go to a quick commercial break, and we're going to come back for the post-race show here at Pocono.
Network. Join 5,000 plus other listeners where you can hear everything from big 80s metal to classic rock and roll, country radio, ETV, live sports radio, even adult and unplugged rock and roll. HDRadioNetwork.com, one of the fastest growing internet radio networks. HDRadioNetwork.com. Take it with you, cowboy. Get the mobile app for Android, iPhone, iPad, and all the rest from TuneIn.com.
InsideSimRacing.tv, the fastest show on the internet. Sim racing news and reviews since 2007, with new shows every week.
Hello everybody and welcome back to ETV Live's live coverage of the 2013 Real Sim Racing Full Throttle Cup Series, and Chad Cole taking home the win today at Pocono. And again, ETV Live is powered by the HD Radio Network, the home of ETV Live Radio. The HD Radio Network gives you a variety of stations to choose from, including Big 80s Metal, all HDR Classics, all HDR Country, and more. Take your pick and rock your brains out, dude. The HD Radio Network stations are featured on iTunes Radio, TuneIn Radio, and also listed in the Windows Media Guide. Listen today from HDRadioNetwork.com, or take it with you. Get the mobile app from TuneIn.com. And I am down here now on pit row with your third place finishers, number 24, Stefan Marinak. Stefan, a good night for you guys. You started in the 14th position. You're going to take home a top three. How was the race from behind the wheel?
I had a lot of fun out there. That was a really fun race. We had a good first run, made our way up to 5th. And the way we pitted, we got shuffled back to about 15th on like the restart with 25 to go. and we went like 3 or 4 wide there. So I mean, it was a lot of fun. It was really scary, and I kept making up spots on restarts, and by the end of the race, we were up in third. So it was a fun drive.
Restarts were definitely the key. You mentioned we did see that 3 and 4 wide. A lot of beating, banging. Your car still looks pretty clean to make it through this race. Talk about going through the turns. Obviously, they're all different. You have a favorite one?
Turn 3 is really the only one I can make it through most of the time. I overdrove one there at the end, and that really cost me. And then I had a lot of trouble with the tunnel turn throughout the race. But turn 3 was pretty easy. I only made like one mistake through there. And that's where I made up a lot of my time because of the momentum you get down that long front straightaway.
And we saw you started in 6th place. I do believe it was the second to last caution. You walked your way up to 4th. You got to 3rd. Do you think maybe if there was another caution you would have had a shot because you were looking fast getting through the field?
Maybe, but Jose was also catching me really fast too, and I think I wore out my tires. But you know, having that inside line, I didn't have that for any of the last restarts. So I mean, maybe. But there were definitely some fast cars behind us.
Well, good night out. Who makes it happen for you?
Yeah, big thanks to Axo Sanitary for sponsoring me, and also Hippie's Paint Shop for sponsoring me in the Thursday night series. Also, Inside Sim Racing, Deer Spear Designs, and RSR, and you guys.
Well, good night out for the number 24 team. It's going to take home 3rd place. Now, I do believe Clinton Monahan may be caught up with our 2nd place finisher.
Sean Casto, we're trying to get him on the radio. Sean, you had a great race, making your way all the way up to 2nd, finishing 2nd. Tell us about your race.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Really, Pocono is one of my favorite tracks, and looked forward to coming in here. Unfortunately, I didn't get to notice in time, didn't get the car rewrapped, but I think we still finished her in style.
Now, we did see some drama going on the track. What was that incident you had earlier?
I'm pretty sure I finished pretty clean. I was roughing fenders with Doug Roth at one point down the straightaway on the restart, but pretty sure we kept the nose fairly clean.
Yeah, there will be some racing incidents. Good job on your 2nd place finish. Who do you want to thank for it?
Thank my usual sponsor, Speed Energy. Otherwise, thank my teammate finished 6th in this. This is Nick Silver. He kind of gave me some of his brake markers and such as well.
Well, Sean, you had a great race. Congratulations on your podium, and we'll see you next Monday. Now, Evan Pasoko is with our race winner, none other than Chad Cole.
And down in the Pocono victory lane, Chad Cole in that nice-looking 8 GameStop Chevrolet is going to take home the win. That's going to make it back-to-back for you.
Yeah, it feels good. Win Indy and Pocono back-to-back like that, and won one of the Poconos last year as well. So I don't know, just something about this track. Kind of have a good feel for it. Really enjoy racing it. 3 different corners really make things interesting.
Well, we saw you led about the first 27 laps or so. Then Dwayne Vincent, you seem to somehow managed to be side by side with every single week, and you're 1-2 right now in the point standings. You ended up taking the lead from you once caution flew. You ended up sitting back up front. He was looking fast. Do you think if he stayed up there, you will still would have had something for him? You looked real good on the short runs.
I don't know. Yeah, it was kind of nice to. We were kind of breaking away from 3rd there at the end of that first 30 or so laps, and was able to just hassle him just enough. Then I pulled in to pit there, scheduled stop. Kind of got lucky there with caution came out. That really jumbled things up. I was able to get back up to 2nd there, while others had to wait. I mean, I don't know, just the timing of it worked out real well for me.
It was a good night out for sure. It will be about your 5th or 6th win this season. You're doing what you need to do. Dwayne Vincent, obviously in front of you in the points, finished 9th place. So you're going to pick up a couple points, still trying to chip away, but obviously the chase is coming up. And you mentioned you won Indy last week. You took home the win here today at Pocono. What do you think you can do at Watkins Glen next week?
Well, I practiced earlier this weekend, got some laps at Watkins Glen. It's a difficult track. It's another one I enjoy. I enjoy road courses as well. And feeling pretty good, doing some good laps, practicing with Jose Gonzalez, Ben Burnett, and Douglas Wyatt, getting some good feedback from them on the road courses.
Huffman coming to a comfortable lead.
Well,
Coming
definitely,
out of two. He's got
it's very different when you think of joining a NASCAR style league. You're going to be thinking of the ovals. When we throw in that road course, it'll definitely be interesting. Who do you want to thank for this win?
I need to thank hippiespaintshop.com. He does all my paint for me. This is something he whipped up, the Triton car, GameStop as well. And you can find Hippies Paint Shop on Facebook as well. Just punch in Hippies Paint Shop, and he has a gallery there. You can see all his great work. ETV, you guys do an awesome job with the broadcast. Love watching the broadcast after the races. Bob Rowe raced chassis for the Full Throttle Cup Series championship, for sponsoring and then of course RSR, the admins that put on this great series. And my teammate, I forgot him last week. I can't forget him tonight. Guy Snyder, Dave Lanza, and Glenn Campbell. Campbell and Lanza weren't with me tonight though. They're somewhere else. I don't know where they were, but we'll be celebrating with them tonight for sure.
Definitely, thank you, and congratulations on your 5th win of the season. We're going to take a look to see what you can do next week at Watkins Glen. Clint, we saw a very heated, interesting race tonight. What's your take on it?
It's going to carry over to next week, and that'll only make our race even more exciting than it will be next week.
Definitely great night out at the Tricky Triangle Pocono race with a 2.5 mile triangled racetrack. Chad Cole's going to take home this one again. He's obviously mastered this racetrack, and he's going to continue to chip away in the points next week when we go to Watkins Glen. For John Wesley and JD Webb, Clint Monahan, my name is Evan Pasoko. Stay tuned, and we'll see you guys next week for the Real Sim Racing Full Throttle Cup Series.